Hi, thanks for joining us today for the Stampin' Scrapbook Expo event. We're making Valentine Slimline cards today. We're going to make lots of adorable cards. You're even going to get some sneak peeks of some new products coming that haven't even been released yet. So let's jump in and get started. So for our first card, we are going to use our beautiful slimline dies. I called it our beautiful slimline dies because not only does it come with these really cool, kind of modern shaped layering pieces. So we have the two corners and then the two opposite rounded corners, and you get two layering pieces so you can use them both together, or you can use one or the other on your slimline card. It comes with those, but it also comes with this word die, Hello Beautiful. And so I've cut out the Hello Beautiful in both purple and this really pretty glitter paper. And I've layered it on the shadow die that comes with it. And I did the shadow feature in the vellum. I love how the vellum just kind of makes the sentiment pop off the card without being too much of an overwhelming base for it there. And I've already cut that out and glued it together for us. And we're just gonna glue it all down like so. And then we're gonna add some of our silver glossy hearts. These are really pretty. They almost look mirrored. And just they add a little bit of sparkle and shine with some hearts. So let's glue this down. Now we're going to glue down the sentiment, Hello Beautiful, and since it has the vellum, I want to be careful where I put my glue so that you don't see the glue through the other side. So I'm just going to add glue where the wording is, and that's going to disguise our glue a little bit. Now we have our Hello Beautiful adhered down, and I'm going to add those sparkly silver glossy hearts. There. Now we have a gorgeous but simple, easy to put together Valentine or a Galentine card. For our next card, watch out guys, this is a super sneaky peek. You are getting the first look at something we are releasing January 20th. So in just a few days here, we're going to be releasing this stamp set called Always. And I'll give you a little peek. This is the main image here. So I've stamped it. We have coordinating dies. So I die cut it out and I colored it with just some Copic markers. And then I stamped one of the sentiments. It says, "You are always on my mind and in my heart." So that's a beautiful sentiment for Valentine's Day. And you can always write or stamp inside Happy Valentine's Day or whatever else that you would like. The stamp set also comes with the butterfly stamps and coordinating dies. So we're going to be using those. I'm going to be using our plaid slimline dies. I love this plaid slimline die. It just gives a nice background for a variety of, you could use it for any occasion. You could put anything in front of this and it's going to look good. So here we have our card base now with that beautiful plaid on the front. And so like I mentioned, I've just stamped out this image from our brand new Always stamp set and cut it out with a coordinating die. And I've added some dimensional foam tape on the back just to pop it off the card a little and add some dimension to the card. Now I'm just going to add a couple of these little butterflies from the stamp set And I've also added dimensional foam tape to the back of them for some more dimension. And there we have beautiful Valentine's card. But if you don't celebrate Valentine's Day, these cards are perfect for giving to your loved ones any time of the year. For our next card, we are going to be using some gold glossy hearts, pretty and shiny. And we're going to be using our Perfect Couple stamp set. So I have colored in these adorable little bears. For the background, I've cut out a piece with our layered slimline dies. So I've used that die to cut this pink piece for our card base, and I've just cut it slightly smaller than our card so we have a nice white frame around it. So we'll glue that down. So now we have our card base. Now I've cut the same size piece in this lime green, but I've taken our layered circle dies and I've cut out some circles where I want our images to go. It's always nice to anchor or frame your images to your card so they don't just look like they're floating. And I stamped from that Perfect Couple stamp set, "I love you so very much." I thought that was sweet. So let's glue down this piece. There, so now we have our card base ready to go. It kind of looks like Swiss cheese in a way with our circles cut out. Now we can add our colored images. So there we go. Now we have our card. Isn't that sweet? A little bear couple. Now I'm going to add some embellishment with the gold glossy hearts. There we have it, our finished card. I have to turn it a little sideways to get the whole slimline card in the frame. For our next card, we're going to make a shaker card. So I've got a layering piece to go on our white card base. Again, the card is 8.5 by 3.5 folded. I cut it just ever so slightly smaller than the card base, just so we have a little white trim. I thought the little white trim around it would look good. So let's go ahead and glue that down. The scalloped piece is in the Sympathy Slimline die, comes with this nice scalloped frame. And the hearts, I've used our double stitched heart dies, which when you cut them out to make a frame like this, you get the stitching around it. And when you cut just the heart out, you also get the stitching around the heart. So it has stitching on each side of the die line. So whether you cut it out to make a negative piece, you'll get stitching, or you cut it out and you use the heart, you'll get stitching. So I've cut 3 hearts out with our double stitched heart dies. So that's where our little shaker pieces are going to go underneath those hearts. So I've taken a piece of acetate, clear acetate paper, and I've glued that to the back of this piece here. You can see it shining there with the light on it. So after I glue the acetate, I need to cover the back in foam tape because you want it to have dimension so that your shaker pieces can shake around inside. As you'll notice, around each of the heart cutouts, I've completed a frame of foam tape. So there's not enough room for any of the shaker pieces to come out of the heart frame where I want them to stay and kind of move around. I've cut some of the hearts out of some pink cardstock, and I want to put the top and the bottom, I want to give them a pink background instead of this teal, just to add a little bit more color. So I'm gonna glue those down in place. So now we have our card base with our two little pink hearts, and we're ready to create the shaker card. So I am using, I would call this like super chunky glitter. I just think it's really pretty and iridescent. And I'm gonna put some on these hearts where I want it to shake around. All right, so I'm gonna try to clean up some of these stray pieces because I want them to stay within my little heart frames that I made with the foam tape, if you remember on the back of my piece. Within that, I think that'll do. Now we can take off the backing of our foam and lay our top piece down. Okay, now I have all the backing off of my foam adhesive. So we're gonna just place our frame down like so, and then you wanna press it really good, nice and firm. Oop, I was off just a hair, put it a little bit low, that's okay. Now we have our shaker card. Oh, I love it. We've got all those little sparkly glitter in there with the glitter paper on top. This is super sparkly Valentine's card. And I have another sneaky peek for you. If you're watching the replay later on, then we have these products available. And as of right now, these are going to be released on January 20th. These are our little cherubs, or you might call them cupids. So we're gonna glue these down along with, I've got a couple of sentiments we're gonna put with it. These come with a set. We've got sending love, and the other one we're gonna add is hugs and kisses. Oh my goodness, if that's not the cutest thing ever. So super sweet and really sparkly too. Okay, so we've done 4 Valentine cards so far, but we're not done yet. We got 2 more to go. So I've cut out a little frame that has an inside scallop, and this frame is from our Blessings Slimline dies. So that's a nice little frame to have. It just has an inner scallop, which is really pretty. I've cut it out of a silver glitter paper. We're going to use, from our last card, the shaker card, we're going to use those 3 hearts that we cut out of the glitter paper to make our shaker frames. We're going to use those. Out of that double stitched heart die, I just used the bigger one and cut out a heart of the vellum. And we've got this adorable little hedgehog that I've colored and cut out here. He is from our Hedgehugs stamp set. And we've got coordinating dies for that. And I've got the sentiment, love you always, stamped and just kind of cut out with a little pennant flag edge there. I'm going to put this piece of pink cardstock down on the card front and be our layering piece. So now we have a card base that has a nice white border around it. I've cut that pink piece the same size as the frame. So this frame gives you a little bit of a white border on your card. All right, so let's glue down this frame. Okay, so here's our card base. It was really pretty pink with a silver little scalloped frame around it. And what I wanted to do is have our heart kind of going off the side of the card, and I'm going to trim it where it goes off the card. We're going to have our little guy floating on the side of the heart there. Okay, I'm going to put our sentiment down this way, and then we're going to add these 3 little hearts here and there and wherever, right? Here and there and everywhere. Yes, okay, so I'm just going to glue these down. And there, I just kind of shimmied the little sentiment underneath the frame there, so it would be underneath. And now I'm just going to trim an edge off of the heart there so it won't go too far over the edge of our card. And I decided to hold down this side of the vellum heart. I would just kind of tack it right underneath the edge of that top heart, and it will hold it all down nicely. And there's another card. Just another sweet little Valentine's card that you can also use any time of the year. Last but not least, we're going to make a really cute Valentine card with a brand new, not even released as of yet. While I'm making this video, it's going to be released January 20th, 2021. It's a RAR set. So it's an adorable dinosaur set. For this card, we're going to make a fun folding card. So I've cut out a bunch of sheets of pattern paper, and these fun, bright patterns are from our Warm Wishes paper pad. Okay, so it's a 6x6 paper pad, and you may go, oh, but it doesn't go all the way down to the bottom. But that's okay, because this piece right here is going to cover it up at the bottom. So we're all good. So I'm just going to adhere down all of our pattern paper pieces. Okay, so here's our slimline card base. So it is 8.5 by 3.5 folded, with the front flap is just folded back in half. So then I just put a strip of pattern paper here and a piece on the inside here. So this piece, just imagine, is the same width as our slimline card. So it's 3.5 when folded, 4 inches tall. Okay, and the same thing, you just fold one flap back. So it's going to look like this, like 3 panels, kind of like accordion fold here. We're going to glue the small piece to the inside of the card. And then this big flap here is going to glue to the end of the small piece on the front. And that's how it will go together. Let's put these guys on the inside, because I wanted to tuck the circle a little bit below this piece here, because I want them to be the surprise on the inside. So I want this circle here on the outside to cover it up. So let's glue that about here. I'm going to lay this here just to see where it's going to fall, so that I can glue down my dinosaurs. Right above. So I've also stamped out the sentiment, your dynamite, but I want to back it on this dark pink cardstock so it pops off the background a little better. So I'm going to glue that down and then cut around it. So now we have the inside of this card decorated, so we can put the actual card together now. And this larger flap goes on the small flap on the front of the card. You just want to make sure you just put glue on the half that's going to stick to the flap on the card. I'll also close the card down and press it really good just to make sure everything goes in place. All right, so now I'm going to glue together my stitch circle and my scallop circle piece. And here we have our little fun folding dinosaur slimline Valentine card. Isn't that the cutest? So thanks for joining me today as we made some super cute, fun, and whimsical Valentine slimline cards. If you haven't tried slimline cards yet, this is the perfect time to do it. I hope you've enjoyed the cards we created, and that until we see you again, my friends, keep living the creative life.